Okay, I think you can hear me now, so I'm just going to play here and look over your game as I intended to do. The first thing I'll say is that anytime that I step into a lane, the first thing that I do is I examine the matchup. And we weren't really sure this game, I don't think, if Scion or Trinimir was the matchup. But I think as the ranged champion, your matchups pretty well play out the same depending on these, or regardless of these matchups. Because you're a ranged champion into a melee champion, what should typically happen is that you have all the advantage levels 1 and 2, and then at level 3, they start to get the advantage back because they have all of their abilities and can run you down and, ghost ignite you and all that kind of shit. So I'm expecting that as Orianna, you could play very aggressively into whichever matchup until level 3. Now, the other thing to think about with level 3 is that, likely, because of how you hit level 3, you've got the wave slow pushing into their tower, and they're going to hit level 3 on the bounce back where it's pushing out to you. So, in general, the way that I expect this to go is that you're going to play really aggressively, pushing them into the tower, and then when they start to push back, you should probably back up a little bit and set vision or take a reset or something like that while they have the advantage and you really don't want to pressure them. So let's just kind of see what happens here in these early moments. I'm going to speed up. Oh, that's too far. So some shenanigans go down bot. Not a lot we can do about that. You're playing pretty safe here. I'm going to set it up to where our vision is our vision. Okay, so we know that they're all coming through here. Your response? Okay. If I'm the enemy team and I see you step up to this wave, you're the gank. You're the opportunity because they're like flies to a moth. Or I'm sorry, like moths to a light, I suppose, or flies to a light, where you're the target. I would be a little more wary than that, because you know that not only did they all cross through this vision, but they're all right here in these two bushes. And I don't think that they do anything with that, but that's a scary situation. Let's speed this up a bit. Yep, you see Trinimir coming off this way. They're all going around this way. So as far as we know, Trinimir's here, and they are all in this fog of war area, right? Where are they going to go? They can either go to you or me. This is aggressive. I like it. I like to see it. Yep, there's the random Scion cross. And now we definitively know it's Scion in the lane. Okay. So again, positioning-wise, I would literally just auto-attack him forever until you actually have a last hit up. Small thing, I think you could have Q. If you're going to use your Q on these minions, you could wait a little bit, or you could put damage on these and hit him with your Q and get all three. You don't have the damage, I don't think, to kill these yet, so you may just want to harass him with your Q, because it's not a targeted ability necessarily. You're going through minions to get him. You won't even take aggro for doing that. But I think you could have probably hit him a little bit more here. Okay, my expectation is that you run him down for doing this because you're both level 1 and you have the range advantage. Hit him. Good. I would have hit him with that. Hit him. Good. Good. You have the level 2. And you run him the fuck out of lane. That's very good. Yeah, this is how this is supposed to go, man. He is playing way too aggressively against a ranged champion, and he loses his whole health bar for it. Now, the one bad thing here is you spent your whole time aggroing him, that you didn't actually grow your lead. You only have 1 minion's worth of gold more than him because you missed so many minions behind here. You back this up. Let's see how many you miss doing this. One, two, 3, 4. You missed 4 minions. I mean, you missed the whole wave for doing that. So it was really good. Just don't miss your minions. Okay, this wave is when he's going to hit level 3, and he's going to be a lot scarier to deal with. So the expectation, at least from, I haven't seen this game, I'm actually just reacting to it. But my expectation is that you're supposed to back off here a little bit. Even if he's low, he may surprise kill you. Oh, you missed the cannon. Oh, you missed the minion. I don't know why we're shoving here, actually. I guess you're trying to get a base. Not sure. Very aggressive flash. I think it might have been more optimal to flash the other direction and be in the bush. Not because that's a less aggressive play, but it's because it puts the wall between you and these two, and you can kite here and they can't actually do anything back to you. I'm not 100% sure on Oriana's range, but I'm pretty sure you could have done that. And then you can just kite and spaced with the wall in between you.
First blood.
So here I'm not sure what you're trying to do. So you're not going to have the damage to shove this in. You should have frozen it. So this is a high level thing, but the other alternative to trying to shove it here is you freeze it and you just base. Because you know that he's on a recall. And if you just leave the wave here, you're going to miss minions. But he's going to miss a lot more than you will. And if you can set this up to come back to a freeze, which I think you had the minions to do. Let me see. Let me back up just a bit more. Okay, he's got this shoving towards you. Okay, actually, yeah. This is the spot where I think I recall. Because you know the wave is going to be here in time. And he's going to have about 5 minions. 2 of them are kind of low. Oh, 3 minions. Yeah, these are pretty low health minions. So you're likely going to come back to a freeze. So I would have just started basing about 2 seconds prior to this happening. Like, once this is done, if we're not going to engage, I'd base. Because now he's going to get a recall, right? That's what he does here. He leaves. You've got 9 minions to kill. We'll see how this happens, or how this impacts your tempo. Okay. So we clear the minions. Oh look, it's back. Now, I don't know what the hell he did, because it's taken you long enough that he could have based, gotten items or something, and come back, and he didn't. We can go look at what he did in a second, but I think that's really random. And in this spot, you'd probably also just be back right now to a frozen wave with an item advantage, because he did some random shit. And that, I think, is the real power of how to win in these matchups like this, is taking you don't have that much gold, right? You've got, what is it, 500. So you could go get a Dark Seal. That's a big thing. What if you kill him here? Well, you have more mana to kill him with because we based. The wave is frozen likely because we based and he didn't do anything with it, which is weird. But you suddenly have Doran's Ring, Dark Seal against a shield. Now you're Oriana, so I don't know that that means you have kill pressure, right? But you probably shove him out of lane again. And you can constantly rinse and repeat until they look up and you're an item ahead, right? So I think in that spot, that base is actually really important. And it's a little harder to see because you're like, oh yeah, the wave's coming to me. I should catch this and shove it to them. But in general, when you shove it to them, it's coming back to you every time you shove it, right? That's going to mean that eventually you have to take your base. So as soon as the wave touches the tower, if you're basing, you'll be back, especially in mid lane, in 22 seconds. Okay, so we do some more shit here. He is just playing with fire. Is this where you kill him? Because he just constantly steps up to you? There's the cannon! See, this isn't quite a crash, but it's enough because he's going to absolutely shove this out to you, giving you that time to get your sweet, sweet base. Whoa! Hold that thought, hold that thought, hold that thought. What are we doing? What are we doing? We get a tier. And you got a pink board, I guess? Okay. Pet peeve of mine for everyone on the team. Especially this motherfucker right here, but everybody. Be the most efficient shopper possible. And you need to be teleporting and then opening your shop and getting that control ward at the last second if you can time it that way. Because you just never know when the fact that you're here early. Now, in this spot, it's not that big of a deal because your waves are about to be neutralized. I actually want to see... Do you lose something for this teleport? You lost maybe a minion or two here with how long it's taking you to teleport over a pink ward. And you know the wave's coming into you, so now you have to like... Yeah, so imagine a world where you teleport 4 seconds sooner and you just catch the wave in between the rocks. Well, that was 4 minions, so you quite literally can set a freeze. And it makes him, he's already, he should be further behind than this anyway, but like he's already off tempo relative to you because of your teleport use. Setting a freeze here instead of getting a slow push into him, this is what's going to happen, is now that these crashed, you're going to slow push into him. If you got to set the freeze here instead, he has to hurry to lane or get his jungler to break the freeze or do something about this, and you may not let him base because you're here to catch that wave. But see, watch what happens. You're going to get the wave going, you get to like slow push and stuff, and now, I don't know why he teleported. Okay, this is another reason why I stress these little things. If I'm Scion, I never teleport there because I don't need to. The wave's coming to me. Why do I need to teleport? I'm under no stress at all. I just have to shop well and come back. So we burned his summoner for free, but we don't get to take advantage of it because we didn't catch that wave in freezing. Yeah, you're just beating him up, dude. Just make sure not to do minion damage. There we go. Cannon. I don't even care if that was bad micro or what. You got the cannon. That's all that matters. Dangerous position here. That wave's coming to you. He has a huge advantage here. This is a spot where you might want to play a little bit further back and just preserve your health and make sure he doesn't have good all-in potentials. He's level 6 now too, right? I think in a higher level game, he probably just ults you immediately because you can't do anything about it. I'm pretty sure he can just kill you here. Yeah, I think he can just absolutely kill you. That was a really sick ult though. Wow. This dude's real bad. He's just letting you abuse him. I think if you were playing against a better Scion, you died. But he is really bad, so you got to trade 1 for 1. And our jungler is just 5 to 10 seconds behind the play. Alright, anyway, that's a pretty good laning phase, though, to be honest with you. You've done your job here. I think there are just a couple of moments where if you'd seen a couple of those like micro things that mattered, base or teleporting and getting back to that freeze, some of those little things would force his hand a lot more. Pretty good. Don't forget too, as a control mage, often the way that you're going to establish a lead are the plates. So setting yourself up for freezes to shove him out of lane, or kill him, right? Like, hey, you're gonna die if you stick around. But if you do it at a freeze, then Kayn never gets to gank, right? And when you do get him out of lane, you shove and take a plate. That's a really good way to start getting you ahead of your opponent. It's a pretty good escape. Really good spacing, damn. You spaced his ability perfectly, nice job. Oh, we burned his flash. I don't think you needed to do that because you knew that his second Q was up. Yeah, you never needed to commit your flash there. I bet that comes up later.
Killing spree. Shut down.
I think you got blood in your eyes. Okay, here we go. Let's see what he does here. He just takes the wave. Okay. Ooh. I think that's impressive. I don't think that I know her damage well enough to have done what you just did to kill him. That was really good, man. Don't miss a single creep. You missed a creep. Blasphemy. Alright, we're basing. So, I think we can call it here, because the rest of this is shenanigans, and we can talk about mid-game in a different video. But your laning phase, I think, is pretty strong. The matchup went kind of as expected. I think your opponent was dog shit. I don't think they played the matchup very well. They just kind of let you beat the shit out of them when they probably should have just, like, preserved their health. That one spot, for example, where he had, where I was like, oh, he can kill you here. I think he can kill you there. But he let his health dwindle to where it was really close. And a better Scion player that knows how range versus melee matchups goes, that doesn't let you do that, ults you and kills you. Because you just can't stop him in his ult, and, you know, your R on the return fire is great, and then he can Q you because your mobilities, I don't know, man. I think that a better Scion would have absolutely dominated that one section of that fight. Otherwise, there's a couple of laning mechanic things to just pick up. That one spot where we talked about when to set the freeze and just base, I think that's a really good base time. You get to come back to the freeze. Otherwise, the micro that you exhibit is really strong. You know the champion damage really well, too. So I'm less concerned. I think, like, Tom keeps saying, like, oh, man, I really don't know if I like him on Orianna. I don't mind you on Orianna at all. In terms of the team comp, in terms of just Orianna as a champion, I think that's fine. I think there are some lane things to try to clean up. Being a better shopper, right? Those things really, I know it doesn't look like it here, but they really do matter. Allowing him to get that base in that spot is really bad for you, because that's another reason he may come back and kill you. Where, you know, this player didn't, but I think in a different game where he's just a better player, that's a very high possibility. The fact that he burned his teleport, it's kind of stupid. I don't think that I would have done that if I were Sion. I think he could just make it back to the lane and catch the wave. And it's at his tower, so he can do it safely. Like, there's a lot of things about his play that was really bad. But we didn't set ourselves up in the best spots on those couple of occasions, where I think it's a bit better if we catch the wave after teleporting 4 or 5 seconds sooner and trying to shop a little better. The ganks that they exhibited too were, I'm really impressed by the poise you showed and just like running away and not burning your flash. On the time that you did flash, just remember to think about what does Amumu have up, right? You as a hyper scaling carry with Orianna, with Victor, with anybody, right? You have to remember that your flash is very often an objective unto itself, right? Because you are a high value target. It better be to save you from dying. Everything else is extraneous. You're going to get the kills because we're going to team fight. You're going to get those things to come your way because of your champion, right? Victor with his E. You're just going to blow up minion waves. And then you're going to go side lane and you're going to look up at one point in the game. It's going to be, oh, it's 25 minutes and I've got 260 CS. Yeah, because you're victor, and you just annihilate minion waves, right? So make sure that your flash is not used in an aggressive manner unless you're getting some crazy benefit out of it. I am bad about this as well, but I've been a lot better lately about understanding I'm an AD carry, and my flash is to ensure that I don't die, because if I don't die, we probably win the game, right? If they can't kill MF, eventually I'll kill them all. So I've had that mentality going into a lot of these games. But anyway, I hope that this was informative. I hope we can look at these laning phases, and if you have any questions or if you think I'm wrong on something or if we want to talk through something, just let me know. But otherwise, I will see you later, man. See ya.